When I create a pastry, I believe that the customer shouldn't be tricked. The pearl dessert, when you look at it, already takes you to the beach, and then the flavor comes naturally. You find that it's coconut and vanilla and rum. It makes a lot of sense in my opinion. The first step was to create the outside shell using a thermoforming machine, and you get all the indents and details printed onto the plastic. Once it's cooled down, you can actually use it as a mold. Inside the mold, I'm spraying a little bit of a coral tan color to give a more realistic effect to the shell. Then I cast a very thin layer of white chocolate and I scrape the excess off. I'm adding a very thin layer of a blue pearlized cocoa butter to give that perfect shell reflection. I try to get as close as possible to a realistic shell look. Once the shell is finished, I'm actually cutting a hole so that the shell can lay flat and I can build the cake inside. I'm making a coconut jocon sponge. It's a great sponge to use in this dessert because it can really exhaust flavor by accepting a lot of soaking into it. Once the sponge is complete and cooled down, I'm cutting it to the desired diameter and soak it inside the coconut syrup. Then I'm piping a very thin layer of coconut crémeux just to seal the gap between the sponge and the shell. It's always very difficult in a dessert to create an illusion. If you can stop in time a picture, then it becomes very realistic. Foam is always something you imagine not lasting a very long time. You see the foam breaking with the wave and then they fade away. If you can capture that and plate this and offer it to a customer, then it's a very special experience in my opinion. So the idea was to creating a lasting foam using temperature and gelatin at the right moment, still keeping that taste and texture of the coconut. I then place the foam all around the sponge. Then it's time to build the pearl. I pipe a very light coconut mousse and I push inside an insert made with a coconut coulis and a little bit of a coconut crémeux. I blast freeze the whole thing and then I dip it in a very thin layer of pearlized cocoa butter. This will get me a very crunchy, thin shell. Once the pearl has defrosted, I can actually polish it to get a perfect shine coming through. This is one of the special aspects of chocolate. Then place the pearl inside my lasting foam, add the top shell just to finish the look. Et voilà, the dessert is ready.